Today we're diving into a powerhouse nutrient that plays a crucial role in so many aspects of our health, especially for women, yet it's often overlooked, and that's vitamin D. From balancing hormones to supporting fertility, clearing up acne, managing endometriosis, and even slowing down signs of aging, vitamin D is seriously underrated. So if you've ever wondered if your vitamin D levels might be low or why this vitamin gets so much attention, this video is for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a holistic pharmacist here to empower you to take control of your health and skin from the inside out through clean living, targeted supplementation, and supporting your gut and hormones so you can feel your best. Today, we're talking fertility, acne, endometriosis, even aging, and hormone balance. So let's break down what the science actually says and how it can help you thrive. First, let's get clear on what vitamin D actually is. So vitamin D is actually a fat-soluble hormone. That's right, not just a vitamin. Our bodies produce vitamin D when our skin is exposed to the light, to sunlight. And of course, we can also get vitamin D from food and from supplements. Now, when vitamin D first enters our body, it's inactive form, either D2 or D3. And that's why a supplement label will usually say vitamin D2 or D3. But that's not the active form of vitamin D. It has to be converted through two conversion steps to actually become active. First, in the liver, that converts it to a molecule called calcidiol, and then in the kidneys, which is the final step in converting inactive vitamin D to its active form called calcitriol that now our body can use. Now, nearly every cell in the human body has vitamin D receptors, indicating its importance in various physiological functions, and because it's a fat-soluble vitamin, it can easily penetrate the cell membrane. Now, the problem is that most people, especially women, are deficient, and between spending more time indoors, using sunscreen, and living in areas with less sunlight, we're just not getting enough. And it's almost impossible to get vitamin D just from your diet. So you need to take certain measures to avoid becoming vitamin D deficient. And when our vitamin D is actually low, it doesn't just affect our bones. It throws off our immune system, our skin, our mood, and even our reproductive health, like fertility. So let's talk about fertility. Studies have shown that vitamin D plays a major role in supporting ovarian function, regulating menstrual cycles, and even improving the success rate of fertility treatments like IVF. One study actually showed that among 67 women that were struggling with fertility, only 7% actually had adequate vitamin D levels. That's huge. Now, the reason vitamin D is so important for reproductive health is because we have vitamin D receptors in our ovaries, endometrium, and placenta. And as I previously mentioned, vitamin D receptors are on almost every cell in our body. So vitamin D binds to those receptors and initiates physiological pathways in those cells to regulate our reproductive hormones and support the growth and the development of follicles that are critical for ovulation and conception. So if you're trying to conceive or you just want to support your hormones or your cycle naturally, checking your vitamin D would be beneficial. Now let's discuss the relationship between vitamin D and endometriosis. For those who are not familiar with endometriosis, this is a chronic condition where tissue that's similar to the uterus or the uterine lining grows outside of the uterus, often causing pain, heavy periods, and sometimes fertility issues. This tissue outside the uterus responds to hormonal changes, and it can lead to inflammation, scarring, and cysts over time. Now, some research has found that women with higher vitamin D levels may have a lower risk of developing endometriosis. That's because vitamin D has strong anti-inflammatory and immune modulating properties, which is actually important because endometriosis is driven by both inflammation and immune dysfunction. However, the evidence is still mixed. While women in some studies have seen benefits and symptom relief, others show that vitamin D supplementation alone may not really significantly reduce the pain. But nevertheless, it's still an important piece of the puzzle when we're approaching endometriosis holistically. And so optimizing vitamin D is definitely beneficial and a great step towards managing endometriosis. Okay, so let's shift gears to something that we all think about: aging gracefully. Vitamin D is also an antioxidant, and it helps protect our skin from UV damage by reducing oxidative stress, which is actually one of the big drivers of skin aging, wrinkles, and loss of elasticity. It also supports collagen production and promotes skin cell renewal. There's even research showing that vitamin D can help the skin repair DNA damage that's caused by sun exposure. So it's not just beneficial for protecting our skin from UV damage, but it's also good for repairing the DNA damage that's caused by sun exposure. So in a way, it's helping slow down that accelerated aging process that's caused by inflammation and environmental stress. And while vitamin D is doing wonders for our skin on the outside, it's also working behind the scenes to support something just as important: your hormones. So vitamin D is key for for acne and for hormonal balance. So let's talk acne for a minute, because if you know me, you know that I'm very passionate about healing acne from the inside out. And vitamin D is a game changer here. Recent studies have shown that there's a significant link between vitamin D deficiency and acne. Research published in the Journal of Clinical and Aesthetic Dermatology found that people with acne had significantly lower levels of vitamin D compared to those with clear skin. And one study found that supplementation with vitamin D led to a significant improvement in inflammatory acne after just 2 months. So how does it help? Well, it reduces inflammation, it supports our immune health, and it helps regulate sebum production, which is that oily buildup that clogs our pores and causes acne. And as most of you know, your skin is constantly renewing itself, where dead skin cells shed off and new ones form, and this is a process referred to as cell turnover. But when your body is not regulating that process properly, dead skin cells can build up, they can clog your pores and trigger breakouts. So vitamin D helps regulate how your skin cells grow and shed, helping to keep your pores clear and balanced. Now, your immune system also plays a huge role in how your skin reacts to bacteria and clogged pores. If your immune system's overreactive, you're more likely to experience inflamed breakouts and even scarring. Vitamin D helps balance your immune response, so it's strong enough to fight the bacteria, but not so aggressive that it causes excess inflammation in the skin. In fact, vitamin D helps calm inflammation in the body, so its anti-inflammatory properties can help reduce the redness and the swelling that comes with acne breakouts. Vitamin D acts more like a hormone than a vitamin in the body, and as a result, it can influence other hormones like insulin and androgens like your testosterone, which are major triggers for acne. It also helps regulate insulin sensitivity, which is crucial because insulin spikes can lead to increased oil production and hormonal breakouts, especially along the jawline and the chin. And if you struggle with PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, research shows that vitamin D can help improve the insulin sensitivity, lower androgens, and even help with cycle regulation. And if you're curious about how to balance your hormones, clear your skin, and feel your best from the inside out, check out the link in the description below to learn more about my Clear Skin Blueprint. Did you know that vitamin D is also crucial for thyroid function, for estrogen metabolism, and even for mood? Studies link low vitamin D with higher rates of depression and anxiety. So many women experience low mood during PMS, postpartum, or even during menopause. And guess what? Low vitamin D is often one of the reasons. So if your mood is off, or your cycle's irregular, or you're feeling tired and foggy, low vitamin D can be part of the story, and you should consider supplementing with vitamin D or increasing your vitamin D dose. As many of you know, vitamin D is also important for bone and for dental health. It facilitates the calcium absorption, which is crucial for strong bones and teeth. So a deficiency in both the vitamin D and calcium can lead to conditions like osteoporosis, rickets, and dental deformities. Vitamin D is also important for lung function. It helps overcome respiratory infections and reduce inflammation for respiratory conditions like asthma and COPD. Adequate levels of vitamin D can also help with muscle recovery. It helps improve your muscle function and recovery by ensuring proper calcium absorption and calcium uptake by your muscle cells, helping reduce cramps and muscle fatigue. So here's the key takeaway. Vitamin D is one of the most essential and easiest nutrients you can use to support your skin, hormones, mood, fertility, and long-term health. Now, I highly recommend you get your levels checked, especially the ladies. While safe sun exposure is great, most of us still need to supplement, especially in the fall and in the winter months. You want to make sure to always choose a high-quality vitamin D supplement. If you're ready to take your health to the next level, make sure to check out my online dispensary where you get an exclusive 10% discount anytime on pharmacist-approved, high-quality premium supplements that are handpicked by me and my team. These are the exact brands that I trust and I recommend to my patients every day. Just click the link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys found this helpful, please give it a like, leave a comment, and share it with others. It really helps more people discover my channel and it supports my mission. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss out on future tips to help you feel and look your best. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself, and as always, keep healing to thrive.